Hi, I'm Dave Thomas. I'm social media manager for SAS, the business analytics software company. I'm going to be on a panel at the Marketing Profs Digital Marketing Mixer in Chicago later this month, October 21st and 22nd. The panel is called Positioning Your Company to Reap the Benefits of Social Media. We just had a great planning call yesterday with our moderator, Sean McDonald from Ant's Eye View, who used to be at Dell, and Annetta Hall from Pitney Bowes, who's on the panel with me, and Heidi from PEMCO, who has an awesome last name that I don't know how to pronounce. It's got an apostrophe in the middle of it, which is pretty cool. We're going to be talking about, as I said, positioning your company to reap the benefits of social media, and I wanted to give you a little preview of that. I'm going to be talking about 10 tips for establishing a social media policy. I spent a lot of the first half of this year getting our social media policy together, and I'm going to share some of what I learned, and also we're going to try to generate a good audience discussion about what people in the audience have learned themselves and what they need to know. So it should be really interactive and useful. So here are quickly my 10 tips for establishing social media policy. Number one, you need to get everybody together in the same room and create a council. We created ours called the Marketing 2.0 Council, and it gave a place to hash out those issues and get everybody together to discuss them. Number two, you need to invite the skeptics as well as the evangelists, because the skeptics will learn from the evangelist's enthusiasm, and the evangelists will learn that there are reasons why you maybe can't just dive into all these social media activities without giving them some thought. Number three, you have to involve the practitioners, not just the rule makers, the people who are actually doing it, who are excited about it, and are going to be actually interacting with people in social media. You need to get their perspective. Number four, get legal and HR involved from the start, and don't make them adversaries. They're going to have important perspectives that could trip you up if you don't get it, if you don't find out early enough what their concerns are. Number five, you need to decide how you're going to deal with conflict, with conflicting opinions, and make decisions. If you have one group or one person that's adamant about something and everybody else disagrees, what are you going to do about that? And that's basic meeting facilitation, but it's important in this as well. When you write the policies, you need to include best practices, not just the don'ts. You need to include the do's and give people some information about and examples of how they can participate in social media effectively. Number seven, Sean contributed this one and the next one as well. You need to make sure that your policy reflects your company's personality, and that makes perfect sense. If you're in a regulated industry that doesn't talk about things, then your social media policy has to reflect that. If you're in a company that has a reputation for being very positive and open and communicative and friendly, then your policies need to communicate that as well and reflect that. Another from Sean, you need to publish your policy, preferably online. And that's one place where that's a sore spot for me. Our legal department is still reviewing our policy and deciding whether or not we can put it online. That's something you may run into as well. Number nine, when you have the policy in place, you need to communicate it to your employees constantly in every channel that you have. We have 11,000 employees worldwide. It's nearly impossible to make sure that that many people learn a piece of news, no matter how important it is. So one of my challenges is to just keep getting out in front of people in person, in group meetings, on our intranet, on our internal microblog platform called Chatter, on our SharePoint sites, in my internal company blog, all the different ways where I can get out there and tell people about the policy. And I should have turned my iPhone on mute, because did you hear that? It just made a little beep. Somebody just said something about me on the internet. And number 10, you need to lead by example. And that means you need to highlight, in addition to participating in social media yourself as one of the thought leaders in your organization and doing it in a positive way, you need to highlight positive examples by others. So if you see people in your organization who are doing things well and are following policy and communicating effectively, share those examples with everybody and make sure they know about it. What do you think? What are some of the things that you need to know about, that you'd like to know about, or your other tips for creating a policy? You can email them to me at dave.thomas@sas.com. I think there'll be some other ways that we're going to be soliciting information before the event, so keep an eye out. And I'll be talking about those on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at David B. Thomas. Thanks very much. I look forward to seeing you in Chicago.